Hello and welcome to another edition of the Morning Update. We are live on NTN, coming to you from the Information Command Center from the GIS studios. My name is Jessie Leonce. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on air, online, a special good morning to you, our channel, cable channel 122, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook page. Thank you for tuning in. Residents here in St. Lucia, St. Lucians abroad, it's always a pleasure to have you tuning in, keeping abreast as to what's happening in your island home. To go over the headlines for today, Wednesday, the 2nd of December, St. Lucia commemorates World AIDS Day. We'll take a look back at the observance yesterday. We'll be hearing from Dr. Gail Gajada. She's the Senior Medical Officer in the Infectious Diseases Unit. Also, Air Antilles increases connectivity and creates a greater network in the region. And St. Lucia celebrates another centenarian. And on the COVID-19 front, negatives are positives. The Ministry of Health receives 112 negative COVID-19 test results. We're going to get into the details of that. They put out a press release regarding these 112 negative COVID-19 test results. So stay tuned for the duration of this morning's program as we bring you the latest developments coming from the government of St. Lucia.
What does coronavirus have in common with love? Both are highly contagious. Spread love, not the virus. Like you, COVID-19 loves a lime. Beach, river, or fed. Coronavirus is like these people who track every lime just to invade. The best way to put off invaders? Cancel the lime. Spread love, not the virus. Keep you and your crew corona-free. Live to lime another day.
Together let us win this war. St. Lucia be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand, shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is St. Lucia. Let her inspire you.
Thank you so much for staying with us. If you're just joining, a special good morning to you. For those of you watching on air, online from St. Lucia in the diaspora, good morning to you all. We hope you're having a good week so far. It's hump day. We're midweek and we hope you're being productive. We know COVID-19 has presented us with several circumstances involved, including working from home. The kids are at home learning. We hope everyone has gotten into a routine by now in terms of this, and we do wish you all the best. And now to get into the developments for our publications of the news cycle for the last 24 hours. St. Lucia joined the rest of the world in commemorating World AIDS Day. The day has been recognized since 1988 and is observed on the 1st of December. The theme for 2020 is Global Solidarity, Shared Responsibility. This year marks 35 years since St. Lucia registered its first documented case of HIV. UNAIDS 2019 figures indicate that there are 38 million persons across the globe living with HIV and AIDS. As of September 2020 in St. Lucia, there are 834 persons known to be alive with HIV. Only 349 of those persons are taking treatment for the virus. Dr. Gail Gajada, the Senior Medical Officer in the Infectious Diseases Unit of the Department of Health and Wellness, did provide a statement yesterday for this designation.
We have come a long way since 1985, from a period where the only treatment on offer was multivitamins. Now we have antiretroviral treatment, also known as HIV medication, that allows persons who are infected with HIV to live well and live long. We have rapid testing for HIV. A finger prick, a few drops of blood, and 15 minutes is all it takes to determine whether you may be infected with HIV. Persons can get assessment and treatment at our public sexual and reproductive health clinics or privately from physicians who are experienced in HIV management. Testing can be requested at any of our community wellness centers or at our partner civil society organizations such as United and Strong Incorporated and the St. Lucia Planned Parenthood Association.
Dr. Gajada urges individuals to get tested, as knowing one's status is very important. She noted that while many strides have been made in testing and treatment, the stigma and discrimination regarding HIV continues. She explained that this should not be, as no one is immune to HIV and one cannot become infected by touching, kissing, hugging, handshakes, sharing food, sharing a seat, and so on.
If you are sexually active and do not use condoms, you are at risk for getting HIV. There is a well-known saying, man knows thyself. You are responsible for yourself. Protect yourself. If you have HIV and have not started treatment, we are available to get you started. Testing is free and treatment is free. If you have HIV and have not told your partner, protect your partner. Use condoms. Tell your partner. They need to know. They need to get tested. This brings up another well-known saying. You are your brother's keeper. Please, hear and remember this. Persons who are infected with HIV can live long, productive, and healthy lives.
That was the Senior Medical Officer in the Infectious Diseases Unit of the Department of Health and Wellness, Dr. Gail Gajada, calling for individuals on this World AIDS Day observed yesterday, 1st December 2020, to pause for a moment and to reflect on HIV and what it means to you. Quote, let us all find our light in this continued fight against HIV. So that word there in observance of World AIDS Day. Also this morning, yesterday, we took a look back at the closure of the CCAP, that is the Climate Change Adaptation Program, which took place earlier last month, November. The Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, that's the 5 Cs, in partnership with the United States Agency for International Development's Eastern and Southern Caribbean, USAID ESC, officially concluded the Climate Change Adaptation Program. St. Lucia and 8 other states in the Eastern Caribbean and Southern Caribbean benefited from CCAP as it strengthened adaptive capacity of the region to climate variability, with a focus on improved data capacity necessary for decision making. Also, the modeling of adaptive approaches to water scarcity and the building of institutional capability of countries to develop sound proposals to access international climate financing. 5 Cs, in a closing ceremony which was held on November 18th, we had the Executive Director of the 5 Cs, Dr. Colin Young, thanking all parties for their contribution towards the projects during the 4-year life of the program. And if my memory serves me right, I do remember the Marshall Community Center, the facility there that's just outside the Middlefield Park. I remember that was one of the facilities that were outfitted under the Climate Change Adaptation Program. So St. Lucia has definitely benefited in many ways. So to go to the clip from Dr. Colin Young, thanking all the parties, particularly USAID ESC, for funding the project.
While time does not permit me to recognize the individual efforts of so many persons and partners who played a pivotal role in the successful execution of the program of activities, I wish to use this opportunity to commend the sterling efforts of the team at USAID, including the then mission director, Chris Cushing, our stalwart Mansfield Blackwood, who so willingly and ably worked with us, always with a calm demeanor and a smile, to ensure that the project met its objectives. And of course, the regional representative, Mr. Clinton White. I must also acknowledge the extraordinary efforts of our many country focal points and colleagues, and all of our regional and international partners, such as CIMH, NOAA, Sutron, Maya Island Air, the CARICOM Secretariat, and others who will continue to play vital roles in our ongoing resilience building efforts.
Now, I mentioned the Marshall Community Center as being one of the funded initiatives under this program, but overall the main achievements of CCAP include funding for climate information digitization and the establishment of 6 data nodes, also expansion of the regional modeling and data capture network through the installation of 5 coral reef early warning system stations, that is cruise stations, that's how it's referred to, 50 automatic weather stations, training in the use of the Caribbean Climate Online Risk and Adaptation Tool, and the acquisition of an airborne light detection and ranging system. I believe they call it LiDAR system. CCAP was funded by USAID with a $10 million grant, and the Deputy Chief of Missions at the U.S. Embassy is Joaquin Monstrate. We had quite a few representatives from the 3 major U.S. embassies that are involved in the Eastern and Southern Caribbean, but we did hear mostly from the Deputy Chief of Mission at the U.S. Embassy in Barbados. Take a look.
Among other notable advances, the CCAP program has improved our understanding and capacity to predict the impact of weather systems, as well as monitor the health of coral reefs that serves as buffers to protect coastal areas. We now have 13 automatic weather stations and 5 coral reefs early warning stations in the Eastern Caribbean. I myself had the privilege to be present at the handover ceremony of 2 of these stations in St. Lucia last February 21st, when travel was so much easier. The CCAP has also helped the region access financing from the Green Climate Fund. Barbados became the first country in the region in 2018 to receive funds from the GCF for programming, receiving over $27 million to set up photovoltaic systems to back up current water generation systems.
That was the Deputy Chief of Mission at the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown, Joaquin Monstrate. The CCAP beneficiary member states are Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Suriname. We are due for a break, but when we come back, we take a look at things on the COVID-19 front. A negative where COVID-19 tests are concerned is a positive, and we'll let you know how many positive tests have emerged so far, and if coming from a statement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness in a December 1st statement press release. So stay with us, that development and more coming up after this break.
Cette lisi ka registre vers min corona ek I ka fait mouvement ek an chay vitesse tan chaque canef ka kouye pour vigilance publique la fait wolo parler en place publique qu'on bon en mai base ti boutique changer distance sociale 6 pieds Rodyon à l'autre. I ka travail tan, si ou senti ko pa cordial, quarantine ko, pas en contact et puis l'autre, en cas où te toi pe exposé. C'est un écouye, free 11 ou ben n'importe clinique yo pou. Les pays a dimi à clé, ça veut dire les supermarkets, pharmacies et puis ATM, yo accessible avant c'était souhait. Pays à clé en plein, ça veut dire tout bagay fermé à 24 heures. Servi protocole comme sorti par bureau indication santé. nous tout ensemble, ça sauver vers min corona. Si nous tous servi Jidla à toutes les.
Together let us win this war. Said we shall be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
Overnight, growing national unrest.
Society, a digital cashless society, one world currency.
A vaccine for COVID-19.
Midtown
Droplets carrying virus.
Macy's iconic flagship. Set inside.
The coronavirus.
Everybody vaccinated
On the corona pandemic.
opposition to the lockdown.
An infected conspiracy theories
about the coronavirus.
bizarre claims.
The truth about the origin of COVID-19 is hidden from the rest of the world. And the Chinese.
In this constantly changing environment, resulting in sensory overload, cut through the noise and tune in to the National Television Network, the official source of information, all facts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. Just listening to that commercial there. The official source for facts is the NTN, the National Television Network, coming to you from the GIS studios. We are bringing everything to you directly from the officials, from the Department of Health, from the government of St. Lucia, from the Office of the Prime Minister, from the various ministries and departments of the government to ensure that you get the correct information and you can act accordingly. And speaking of which, COVID-19 continues to be a real threat, and we cannot emphasize enough the importance of infection prevention measures, as well as adhering to the protocols overall. We know what they have been. They've been instituted. A version of it was instituted on 16th November, and it has been amended since then. And so far, it has been extended to go into the next fortnight of December. And we hope that the businesses, everyone is playing their part as informed by the protocols. We got word from the Department of Health and Wellness on December 1st that they received 112 negative COVID-19 test results. Now that's a positive. Let me just read from the press release for you so you get the full picture of things. The Ministry of Health is pleased to announce that on Monday, November 30th, 2020, a batch of 112 negative test results were received. In accordance with the Ministry of Health's protocol, all individuals who have negative test results will be contacted by the health practitioner from the respiratory clinic where the test was done. Everyone who is tested is required to remain in quarantine until he or she receives a call about their test results. Yesterday, Tuesday, December 1st, the Ministry of Health reported 7 recoveries, bringing the new total number of active cases currently in country to 119. At present, all of the active cases are stable and doing well. To date, St. Lucia has recorded a total number of 138 recoveries in country. Everyone is asked to continue adhering to the protocols and advisories that are issued by the government of St. Lucia. We should all have a great level of awareness when commuting via public transport, undertaking daily routine activities, going to public places to transact business, or within our working spaces. Let us all take extra precaution to protect our families, our colleagues, friends, and neighbors against the virus. And the press release, as usual, in usual fashion, goes on to list the daily infection prevention and control measures to reduce the spread of the virus, which we already know, but I can't emphasize it enough. Washing your hands frequently with soap and water where you are unable to do that when you're not close to a faucet. You can use copious amounts of hand sanitizer. Ensure a mask is always used while you're in public, and ensure it covers your mouth and your nose. Sanitize frequently, as I mentioned. Follow the floor markers in public spaces to maintain the recommended physical distance. And if you are experiencing flu-like symptoms, keep away from others and seek medical care immediately at the closest respiratory clinic. Avoid contact with other people who have flu-like symptoms. So that's the word coming from the Department of Health and Wellness. We've had 112 negative COVID-19 tests coming back on Tuesday, 1st December, and 7 recoveries reported, bringing our total number of recoveries to 138. Definitely good news for us in our fight against COVID-19. And this is by no means that we need to be resting on our laurels. If anything, it means that we are doing well in terms of trying to get a hold of the COVID-19 situation. And we do hope that you continue to adhere to the protocols so that we can meet our goals in terms of reducing the risk of transmission overall in St. Lucia. We continue with the news this morning. Air Antilles announces plans to create increased connectivity, and a greater network. And the airline launched its inaugural service to St. Lucia SLU in 2014 from Guadeloupe and Martinique, and says there is much on the horizon. However, it is currently monitoring the industry given the unprecedented times and is waiting out the COVID-19 pandemic. Take a look.
Air Antilles has announced plans to increase connectivity and create a greater network in the region. Air Antilles' chief executive officer indicated that the objective is to develop new air traffic passages. The airline recently commenced the English network connecting St. Lucia to Dominica and Barbados, with Antigua to be added soon. The CEO explained that in the long run, the airline will be looking to gain connectivity to hubs to connect with the United States of America and Canada.
St. Lucia is one of the most important destinations for the airline. We have been flying to St. Lucia for the last 7 years. Sometimes before the COVID, we had even nearly a daily flight to St. Lucia. And our objective is to develop air traffic passengers to and from St. Lucia on regional routes between the English, the French, the Dutch, and Spanish, and also on transatlantic route connecting European traffic via Guadeloupe and Martinique.
Air Antilles considers it its duty to allow Caribbean people to enjoy their best air service between islands and to promote the tourism industry, one of the major revenue earners. It is for this reason that the airline is looking to expand beyond French-speaking territories, and as a result has built a strong international network that is divided into 3 parts: French to French routes, French to international routes, and intra-international routes. St. Lucia Tourism Authority's marketing manager for the Caribbean and events, Christopher Gustave, welcomed the initiative.
I would like to thank Air Antilles for the contribution in connecting St. Lucia to the Caribbean, especially the French Antilles, which is St. Lucia's #1 market in terms of visitor arrivals in the Caribbean. As Annie indicated, we really value them, we really value this relationship, especially in the times of when St. Lucia puts on events. As you know, St. Lucia is one of the leading destinations in the Caribbean for events. And we really appreciate them for flying in people for jazz, for our carnival, for our roots and soul, etc., etc. Another thing that we're extremely happy about is that we now have a direct flight to Barbados and Dominica. And hopefully, we will be able to get many more direct connections in the future.
Air Antilles began flying to St. Lucia in 2014 from Martinique and Guadeloupe and has transported up to 10,000 visitors per year via these routes. From the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norville.
Thank you, Janelle, for that report. Janelle Norville there speaking on the Air Antilles report announcing plans to create increased connectivity and greater networks in the region. We are due for another break. When we come back, we have some bulletin information for you. And St. Lucia celebrates the life of a Derisol resident, and she is achieving a milestone. She's become a centenarian. So stay tuned for that and more as we come back to our final segment.
Better yet, use soap and water.
We must protect each other if we are to beat this corona.
for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. Be a soldier, together we can beat this corona.
So you don't become the next case. Avoid touching your face. I'm sure you've been told so. Handshakes and hugging are a no.
Advice give you the please. Cover your mouth and your nose if you cough or sneeze.
Practice social distancing and avoid large social gatherings.
Together let us win this war. Be a soldier for St. Lucia. Together let us win this war. St. Lucia, be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
For further information, please contact the hotline at 311 or the Bureau of Health Education at 468-5349.
With all that's happening around us, simple adjustments are necessary to keep us all safe. When calling 911, we may need a little more information to deploy the right personnel and protocols. You may be asked about your travel history, signs and symptoms, contact and movement history, and whether others in your household are exhibiting similar symptoms. Please be patient and cooperative during this time to ensure you receive the best possible care while keeping our first responders safe.
Thank you for staying with us. We're now down to our final segment of the NTN Morning Update Live. St. Lucia celebrates the life of a Deriso resident. Her name is Veronique Tobia Severin, and she is achieving a milestone. She has become a centenarian, the age of 100 years old. We have a report from Herma DeMac. Take a look.
The government of St. Lucia celebrates the life of Veronique Tobia Severin, a centenarian from the community of Deriso who celebrated the milestone of 100 years on 26 November 2020. Fadia Andrew from the Division of Human Services presented Tobia with tokens of appreciation and congratulated her on her long life.
On behalf of the government and people of St. Lucia, I would like to congratulate you on the occasion of your 100th birthday and give you this token of appreciation of your life and your contribution to life in St. Lucia. All right. And I'm not finished. Hold on.
Tobia is a mother of 7 who finds joy in the company of her children and grandchildren. The official from the Department of Human Services lauded the Tobia family for their contribution to Veronique's ability to celebrate 100 years.
And I just want to join with everybody else on congratulating not just Miss Tobia, but also her family. Because to live to 100 years is testimony, not just to her individual strength, but the strength of the Tobia family, their commitment to each other, and that is perhaps one of the greatest causes for celebration, especially today in our current situation. So let me just once again take this opportunity to wish Miss Tobia and her family, well, congratulate her family on the occasion of her 100th birthday.
Veronique Tobia in her earlier years was an active contributor to her community as a community healer and through her membership in many church and community groups, including the Legion of Mary, the La Rose Group, and the Deriso Mothers and Fathers Group. From the Government Information Service, Herma DeMarc reporting.
Wonderful, wonderful. Happy birthday to you, Veronique Tobia Severin. Well, that brings us to the end of the news reports for the 24-hour news cycle. Just to bring you some bulletin information, nominations for the 2021 National Awards are still open. St. Lucians at home and in the diaspora are invited to nominate deserving countrymen and women for National Awards 2021 as the National Awards Committee calls for more nominations as the deadline of December 11th approaches. The National Honors and Awards Act grants awards to citizens of St. Lucia and other persons for distinguished, outstanding, or meritorious services or achievements or for gallantry and related matters. The National Honors and Awards Act also vests power in the National Awards Committee to make recommendations to the Prime Minister for onward transmission to the Governor General. The National Awards Committee was appointed in 2020 by Governor General His Excellency Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, GCSL, GCMG for a period of 3 years. The committee comprises 7 members as follows. Chairperson appointed by the Governor General after consultation with the Prime Minister, that is Mrs. Mauricia Thomas Francis. The Chairman of the Public and Teaching Service Commissions, Mr. Cyrus Reynolds. The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Severin Moshery, and 3 persons representative of the public appointed by the Governor General. 2 shall be appointed on the advice of the Prime Minister, Mr. Gregory Senjou and Mrs. Orisha Denbo Bullen. 1 shall be appointed on the advice of the Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Leslie Mondesi. A secretary appointed on the advice of the Leader of the Opposition. A secretary appointed by the Governor General on the advice of the Prime Minister, Mrs. Irene Senqua. The committee will consider nominations of persons who are citizens of St. Lucia for awards in the following categories. And I read them out. St. Lucia Cross Gold, St. Lucia Medal of Honor Gold or Silver, St. Lucia Medal of Merit Gold or Silver, St. Lucia Le Pétard Medal Gold, Silver or Bronze, a National Service Cross, the Police Force, not below the rank of deputy, fire service not below the rank of deputy, correctional service not below the rank of deputy, national service medal, members of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, the fire service, correctional service cadet corps as well. And nomination forms can be obtained from constituency councils, post offices, the accountant general sub offices, and online at the Governor General's website, governorgeneral.govt.lc/honors and awards. Submissions should be made on the nomination forms provided together with a justification for the award. The name of the individual and or organization making the submission should be legible and signatures provided. Deadline for submission, as we mentioned earlier, is December 11th, 2020. You can send your submissions to the Secretary of the National Awards Committee in care of the Office of the Prime Minister at the Graham Louisi Administrative Building, 5th floor, Waterfront Castries, St. Lucia. So there you have it. Nominations for the 2021 National Awards are still open up until the 11th of September. And finally, the Department of Health and Wellness informs the public of the new opening hours of the pharmacy at the Grocery Polyclinic for the period Monday, November 30th, 2020 to Monday, January 4th, 2021. The pharmacy will be opened Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The Department of Health apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause. For more information, you can call the Grocery Polyclinic at the numbers 450-9661 or 450-9696. Well, that brings us to the end of the NTN Morning Update. We'd like to thank you so much for watching. My name is Jessie Leonce, signing off for now. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and I encourage you to stay tuned to NTN for more programming as we continue to be the connection between you and the government of St. Lucia. Stay with us. Stay tuned.